Hi everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about how to add Power BI report into Business Central. I'm Dr. Gomati, and in this video we will have an overview of what is Power BI and how we can include Power BI, that is Business Central dataset, into Power BI. Okay, so first let us understand Power BI. So Power BI is basically a BI tool. BI means business intelligence tool, where we'll be using a data. We have to import a data to find some insights in that particular data. So like we can decide, we can have some business level understanding of what is currently happening and what is the problem, what is the reason for the deviations and everything in from that data. Okay, so through Power BI, we can create a report, we can create charts, graphs, dashboards, many things. Okay, so this is what the overview of Power BI. So I'll be giving you the complete tutorial for Power BI right from the basics to the advanced, probably within next 10 to 15 days. But anyhow, just understand what is Power BI. So in order to use Power BI into BC, you have to install Power BI into your desktop. Okay, because we have to create some charts or some type of visualization in Power BI. As I told, you need the data to be imported into Power BI. Okay, so what type of data we are going to import? We are going to import Business Central. We are going to import the data from the Business Central. Okay, so let us see, like you can just download Power BI desktop. Okay, Power BI desktop is what the um, is what available for us to download. So you can either download directly in Windows, or even you can see here. Okay, so here you can see Power BI desktop. Just click download. So you can download it through exe file, executable file, or also you can, if you are using a Microsoft, you can also, that is Windows, you can also find it in the Microsoft store. Okay, so both the things are possible. Just simply download for free. It will be downloaded as a software, that is exe file. You can simply click here, click that, connect, install everything. The That is everything is a simple next steps you have to just go through. It will be installed. So once you install, your Power BI desktop will look like this. Okay, as I told, you have to import the data from the Business Central. So this is the Power BI desktop. So you can see here, so here you can see you have an option called get data. Through here we are going to get the data. If you click on more, okay, there are various sources of data we can import into Power BI. Okay, so you can get an Excel data, you can get CSV, you can get the data from SQL, Oracle. You can get the data from the cloud, probably from that is OneDrive, SharePoint, any cloud. Okay, so all various possibilities are there. So these are the source of data. Anyhow, if you wanted to design any visualizations, graph, or anything, anyhow you need a data, right? So without the data we cannot do anything. So now if you wanted to use Business Central, that is, if you wanted to create a dashboard in the Business Central or create a report in the Business Central, if you wanted to show up the report in the Business Central, then you have to probably get the data from the Business Central, right? So this is what, so here you have various options. Once you download, no, you can see various options here. Okay, so this is all type of data sources. So these are all the data sources. This is file based, and this is a database. This is Power Platform, this is Azure online services, and others. You can find various sources of data. So now if you click on everything, you can just walk through like what are all the various data sources which are possible. So now, since we need a Business Central data, we have to click online services. In online services, you can see two options here: Dynamics 365 Business Central and Dynamics 365 Business Central on premises. So what is this two? On premises, in the sense, you have an organization account, but you have installed the Dynamics 365 Business Central, that is as a software um, into your laptop or PC or whatever it may be. So if you have a software, if you're like working with a software or an installed file, then you have to opt for on premises. Since I'm not working with the software, I'm using the sandbox online, so I'll be selecting this Dynamics 365 Business Central. Okay, so let us talk about this further later. So anyhow, I wanted to send my data to this particular Power BI, right? So in that case, I have to write the query, write a object accordingly. Okay, so sometimes we have to that is, we require data for Power BI report that might not be available in the Business Central. So if you want a default available data set, for example, if it is a customer data, if it is a item that is already there, it's a inbuilt object, right? It is a inbuilt data, then it is probably easy for you to get it from here. But if you want your own data to be available in the Business Central, then you have to write a code for that first. It has to be available, right? So we have to write a code for that. Okay, so what we'll be writing, we have to, either we can add the data set, like we can add the data set in three ways. Add data set to Power BI. Okay, because your data is only in Business Central, but you want to connect it with Power BI, so we can add the data set in these ways. One is a query object. You can either write a query, okay, using a tquery snippet, you can write a query, or else you can create a page object. Okay, or else you can create API query object or API page object. Okay, and also you can also add data set by using a reporting data setup wizard in the assisted setup. So we'll be looking into what are the possibilities which we can do. Okay, so we can create a query through the assisted setup as well. Okay, so we can just go and create it. I'll also tell you how to create an assisted setup query here. So let us just launch the Business Central. Okay, so this is okay, we will launch the Business Central first. So here, in Business Central, like we can access assisted setup guides. So I hope you all know this assisted setup guides that help us to configure certain scenarios and add features for the Business Central. Okay, so once if you go and type it in the tell what. Okay, this is the search icon, that is a lens icon, and if you give assisted setup. Okay, so you will be getting an option called assisted setup administration. So click here, assisted setup page. Okay, so here you have an option called setup reporting data for your own reports. Okay, you can see here, you can see a setup reporting data for your own report. Okay, so just click on that. Okay, once if you click here, it will show you a welcome page. Okay, so reporting data setup, welcome to reporting data setup. Choose next for if you wanted to get the data. So you have to click next here. Okay, so here you're going to create, so I want to, you have an option, three options. One is create a new data set. Okay, so you have another option, create a copy of the existing data. That is, if you have an existing data, you can simply copy it, or edit an existing data if you want to edit an existing data. So if we are going to create a new data, right, so we are just going to click create a new data set. Okay, and then simply click next here. Okay, so it will show you a reporting data setup. Fine, you can give name. So you have three options, that is four options here. New name, so specifies the service name. Okay, and here you should not contain, you should not give any space here. Okay, so I'm not going to give any space here, so I am going to have customer list data. Okay, I'm just going to give a name here. So next is what the data source type. Okay, so next is what the data source type. So you have to you have only two options here, either it should be a page or it should be a query. Okay, so you can leave it as a page. Fine, and the third one is what the data source ID. So the ID of the page or a query, what is the ID you're going to use it, you can give the ID. And the fourth one is what the data source name, the name of the page or query selected in the data source field. Okay, so you can give here, so here you can find it, what is the data you're going to get it. So if you click on this three dots, you can find various objects here. Okay, so you can simply select what you exactly want. So I can simply select here, like if you want a 22, I can select here 22. So here you can find that the data source id is already here, and you can also write the data source name. So this is if you have your own data in your business central, and if you wanted to create it, then directly you can come here and create it. If you have your own um, that is object, no, like this a page object, so you can find the object over here. Okay, if you just scroll down, you can find the objects. Fine. So these are all the inbuilt data, that is a page which is already there. This is the base object which is available to us by Microsoft, that is given to us by Microsoft itself. So we have already selected 22. Okay, and then you can select here next. You can see that the data source name already they have given. Okay, just to click next. Okay, so here you can select what are all the fields which you want. Okay, by default there will be number, name, responsibility central, center, location, few records, just already selected. Okay, so if you wanted if you want only the selected field, you can select it. If you want to select some other field, you can select. If you don't want the already default selected fields, you can uncheck it. Okay, you can simply uncheck if you don't want. If you want, you can simply select it. Okay. So, and then here in the down you have three buttons, right? One is the add filter. Okay, second one is the publish, and third one is the back button. So you can simply click here add filter. If you wanted to explore more, you can see that what filter you wanted to add. Okay, if you wanted to give any specific filter only for a specific what to say, specific people, if you wanted to get, you can just add a filter if you wanted. Okay, so this is just to show you like these you have a filter as well. So once if it is done, you can simply select publish. Okay, this will publish the new query as a web service. Okay, we want a web service to be published, so just to click publish. So here you can see a OData URL. Okay, so here you can see a OData URL which is given along with the success message. Okay, so here this OData button, you can also use this button if you wanted to check. This OData URL is useful in order, this is a web service URL which is already created for you. Okay, so you can use it. Okay, if you click on this Excel button, if you can simply click on the Excel button. Okay, now you can see that the Microsoft, that is our Excel is connected with the Excel is connected with the Microsoft Dynamics 365. And once if you log in, if you give your data, you can find all the data which are coming up here. Okay, so you can see here that the data is coming up. So even the same thing which we have to do it. So this is our O data, that is the O data URL is generated now. Okay, now we can go and check like what all we will just copy the link. Okay, and we will just paste it in the notepad if it is required in the future. So Fine. So the O data. So where you can find the you all the web services which are created. So simply you can go to the search, that is a search icon, and you can just go and select here web services. Okay, just to search for web services, and here in the object type you can select you can probably select page. Okay, because we have created the page, right? And here you can see that customer list data. Okay, the data which we, that is the over web services which we have created, is available here. Okay, so that is, if you wanted to create a copy of the existing data, that is also possible. Like as I told, if you wanted to edit the data, that is also possible. Okay, like I have showed you how to edit the data. If you want to delete some specific thing, no, you can just delete it. Okay, now let us see, like we have created this particular thing here, and you can also see that the link is available here accordingly. Like in the list data you can see o data, v4 url, and soap url. Okay, so using the reporting data setup wizard in the assisted setup, you can find that in the assisted setup we have seen that we have created a new data set, edit that the existing data set as well. If you want to copy it, please try that and let me know. So as a result, we can find this web service which is available in the Power BI desktop. So now let us go and check how, where it is available. Okay, so once if you go here to get the data, click get data and click more. Okay, once if you click more, it will show the various options to various options where the data set, like where we can obtain the data set. Okay, so it will show you all the possibilities. So here are the possibilities which where you can get the data. Okay, now we are going to, as I told you before, we are going to click here online services. Okay, and Dynamics Business Central. If you are using installed version of Dynamics 365, then you have to click here on premises. So click here and click connect. So once if you click here and click connect, initially it will ask you to log in with your mail id. Okay, which mail id you are using it to work with Business Central. So use the same mail id and password. So initially it will ask you to authenticate. Okay, so once you have authenticated, it will show you the available environment and everything. So I am using this environment, Busy India. So I'm clicking here, and then once it is created, I'm using in the Coronas IN. Okay, this is my company name, you can see here. So in this you have three options, you can find three options over here. Okay, so the three options which are available here are, the first one is advanced API. We haven't created the API, we haven't created the standard API, but we have created the web services, right? So let us go and check here web services, how it is working. So if you click on the web services legacy, so here you can find what are all the web services which are available. So here you can find your customer list data which we have created before 10 minutes. Okay, so so once this data, so either it will be available through web services or standard API or the advanced API. So these three options which are available. So we have created the web services, and I have showed you how to create web services over there, right? So it is important for you to name the web service properly. Okay, you can create it like this, and click once if you click load data, the data will be loaded here for you. Okay, this is a simple and easy steps to create your, that is make your BC data available to Power BI. Okay, here we have done that. So in probably in the next video I'll be telling you like how to develop a query. Okay, how to develop a page and everything. And once we do all these things, I'll also tell you like how to publish and install the extension and import the data into the Power BI desktop, how we can import the data into the Power BI desktop. Okay, so your thing is ready, your web services is ready almost. So the only thing which we have to do is what, we have to load the data into the Power BI. And then we have, if you have any other any other things to do with it, the Power BI, you have to do create few charts, graphs and everything in the Power BI, and then we are going to just export it. That is, we are going to use this particular data into the relevant business central, that is area in the business central. That is how we are going to use it in the business central. So all these things we'll be discussing in the next video. I hope you understand what are the what are the steps. Okay, so it's a very easy step. I hope you all like this video. So I hope you all get some understanding about what is Power BI, what is Business Central, and how we are going to get the data from Business Central to the Power BI, and um, what are the ways we can get it. Okay, like we'll be discussing about what is standard API, what is advanced API. We saw about what is web services. Fine. So let us see in a different on the next video on how to use this Power BI, like how to create a Power BI simple visualization and how to show this visualization into in the Business Central. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.